What does this mean? It's doing screen captures. All right. I think we are live. Okay, welcome $5 Planet listeners to our very first little change up of format. We're trying out some video podcasting today. And we're actually interviewing Mr. Scott Eddy, serial entrepreneur, networking superstar, and Twitter magnate. But the man who knows everyone and is known by almost everyone, even taxi drivers it seems, has his fingers in so many pies, but seems strangely elusive, I feel. So who is the real Mr. Scott Eddy? We're about to find out. So Scott, welcome to the $5 Planet. Tell us, how many sexual favors did you have to dish out to get over 500,000 Twitter followers?
Oh my God, my legs are killing me. No, actually, hey guys, I'm a huge fan of your show. Even though I've only listened to a few podcasts, I just started getting into the podcast world probably about a month or two ago. But the first podcast I listened to from you guys is Gary Arndt, and then I listened to a couple others, and it was very cool. I like what I hear.
Thank you. That's a massive compliment. Thanks, heaps.
There we go. Yeah, thanks. Well, I think you've dodged the question, you see. You're elusive. You're elusive now. You've turned it around on us, and you haven't answered. Who are you? How have you managed to get this big? What have you done? What is your life story in 5 minutes?
In 5 minutes, I had a childhood pretty much like everybody else's, but it wasn't. My father was a cop. He was a police officer, and that's really all I ever wanted to do. But then 3 weeks before I graduated high school, my life sort of got turned upside down, and my father was killed in the line of duty in a plane crash. And I really didn't know what I wanted to do. So after high school, I went into this orientation for a stock brokerage firm. And, I sort of took to it, and I stayed there for 10 years and learned how to sell and did pretty well. And, it definitely steered me in on a different path than the path I was going. So I went to go visit a friend who lived in Thailand, and I had no idea you could have a huge city, a metropolis like Bangkok, but everybody's just nice and warm and friendly, and the food's good, and you just meet these interesting people from all around the world, and it blew my mind. I mean, I was definitely one of those naive, closed-minded Americans that, we traveled a lot, but not to Europe, not to Asia. I've never been there. I just fell in love with it, and I ended up sending for my things, and I've been living overseas ever since.
Yeah, you just went for it. Is that typical in your life when you see an opportunity, you just go for it?
The thing that is always in my head is this. The worst thing that could possibly happen in my life has already happened. So for me, in anything that I do, what's my downside? The worst thing's already happened, so I have no downside, so why not go all in?
And I have to say that that's probably the thing that resonates with most people, whether it be on your Twitter followers or your Facebook followers. The main thing that we've heard back from people is how motivational you are and how encouraging you make, like the quotes that you put on Twitter and the inspiration that you are to people is a real major factor into why people follow you. So a couple of people were wondering about, is this something that's just that you tweet stuff that inspires you, or you just happen to have that sort of like built into you, like that motivational mindset?
It's so funny that you asked that, because nobody's ever asked that, and the real reason is my mother was the most negative person on the face of this earth. She was the greatest person and the most giving person, but at the same time, her first thought was insanely, intensely negative. So I grew up surrounded with that, and my father was the ultimate optimist. So I never wanted to be, I always wanted to be like her, because she was just a very special, very great person, but I never wanted to be like that aspect. So my first thought usually is negative, but within seconds, I normally twist it around and make a positive out of it, and I'm always searching with a microscope for that silver lining. So I am the ultimate optimist. I will die with a smile on my face, and I hate the toxicity of negative people.
Yeah, and I think that's something that you've sort of found with traveling is it's just such a positive, motivating sort of culture to be a part of.
Yeah, I've actually got a quote from you. We've done a little bit of background research. You said, traveling is like gasoline for entrepreneurs. It makes your creativity explode. It puts it into hyperdrive. Motion creates emotion. And we completely agree with these sentiments. I mean, these are the experiences we have when we go out and we meet new people from new cultures and we get new ideas every day as we travel. And I think there's a psychology behind this. There's cues and stimuli in the world that if you experience those things, it spurs your brain into action. So, yeah, it's an amazing quote, and I think it's strange that we meet so many people who don't want to travel, and we know so many people who don't understand why we travel so much. They think travel is just you go on holiday for a couple of weeks a year on a vacation. I mean, what advice have you got for those people who are vacationers rather than living a travel lifestyle? Should they get out more, or is it that we're just weird people because we travel so much? Are we the strange ones?
Well, I'm definitely strange. I'm definitely weird. I'm definitely all those words. But, you know, the truth be told, reality sometimes doesn't allow people to do everything that they want to do. You know, but at the same time, there's a lot of people out there that really could if they went all in, but they're just afraid to. You know, the unfortunate truth is most of the people that follow travel bloggers are people that are stuck in a life that they want to get out of, and they're living vicariously through them.
Yeah. If people say that they can't do it, that's one of the most common things we hear is that, oh, we know you guys can do it, you figured out how to do it, but we'll never be able to do it. Yeah. I find it strange. I think most people, as you say, a lot of people can do it. They are just afraid. How do they get over those fears? What's the way to get over it?
Look, you just have to, you know, the number one problem, in my opinion, is, you know, there was a saying a long time ago, I think Jim Rohn said it, you are the sum of your 5 closest people. You know, who is in your circle? Who's in your immediate circle? Are these people doing it? Or are these people stuck in the 9-to-5 rut in corporate America or corporate whatever country you're in, and just the naysayers? And, you know, if they are all saying, you know, I want this life forever, guess what life you're going to have? But if you surround yourself with inspiring, motivated people on a daily basis, and you let that feed off of you, guess what life you're going to have?
Yeah.
You know, it's all about decisions. It's choices. It's choices.
Yeah. Once you're in it, you sort of want to be in it more, and it just grows. That's what we found.
Well, you just got to get off your ass and go for it, right?
Yeah.
Look, the world ain't coming to you. You got to go to it.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, it's you know, it's even weird for me when I come back to the States, when I'm on U.S. soil, it's like I feel like a tourist. I've been living overseas since '99, you know. It's like I feel like I just like if you guys came to the States, I would be in the exact same position. It's so strange. Like right now, I'm in San Francisco, and I've been here for about 3.5 weeks, and I'm going to be here. I don't know. Could be 4 months, could be 6 months, it could be all of this year. But it's strange. It's good and it's strange at the same time.
Yeah. Well, we've got to talk a little bit about Twitter, because I know travel freedom is something we talk about. So, and yeah, so we covered that a little bit. We might get into that a bit more later on.
Yeah, loving that dog.
I couldn't resist it. There's so many. We've got looking after dogs at the moment. They're all barking in the background.
You are a dog.
Give me something, because I'm not looking too pretty this morning.
I don't think we can give it to you. I think you've got to control it from your end. I don't know how to do it.
Well, this is only my 3rd Google Hangout that I've ever done, so don't expect magic on my side. Oh, she's got a mustache.
Of course.
It's a hot mustache, yeah.
No, it's important for me to ask this next question with a straight face, now that I'm a very important, serious dog presenter. Okay, so we got a question in about Twitter, because we know you're a bit of a Twitter legend now. You've got a massive following of over 500,000, as we mentioned earlier. Andrew G. from the Flight Sites blog wants to know, what's the most important factor in building a following? Is it content? Is it reaching out to influencers, or is it just consistency, just always posting good stuff? What do you think?
Well, the least important is reaching out to influencers, because truth be told, most people with a big following, most people with that blue check next to their name will never respond to you. You know, it's the unfortunate truth, but social media is just like the real world. And it would be like walking up to a superstar and expecting them to know who you are. You know, content is extremely important, but the problem that most people have, and I know a lot of people, they have thoughts about this, and some people love it, some people hate it, some people are indifferent. You know, I use the follow back method. And, you know, just because in my mentality, if I'm going to do something, again, I'm going all in. I'm going in 150%. So I'm not going to just sit there, put out good content, and wait, hope, and pray that somebody finds me. Look, I'm not a household name. I was never in a movie. I don't have anything coming out. I'm not going to be in a magazine. So how are they going to find you? You have to go out there and aggressively engage or talk with or follow people that are like-minded, people that you want to target, people that are talking to people exactly like you.
Yeah, and so one of the ways you brought up, we had a little chat the other day, and you said Twitter chats are the shit. If you happen to be engaged in a Twitter chat that is in your niche, then that is a gold mine for getting followers. You need to jump on there and follow all those people who are in the Twitter chat, and you're going to get like tons of people following you back. And it just so happened that that night there was an Expedia chat on, and I did that, and I just like followed everyone and engaged and liked their stuff and did everything, and we ended up with like 70 to 80 followers just through that Twitter chat.
I told you.
Yeah.
I do it all the time. It's unbelievable. And again, these are, you know, everybody's looking for shortcuts. Everybody's looking for the secret sauce. Everybody is looking for a way to get 100,000 followers by next week. It just doesn't happen. You got to put in the sweat equity. But while you're going after that, there are little shortcuts that you can take, such as that. You know, I mean, I like to when I'm talking, say, you know, I have the majority as a travel following. So if I'm talking or I stumble across a travel page, I go on their timeline, I look at their latest tweet, see how long it was ago, if it was 5-10 minutes ago, who engaged with that, who retweeted that. Those are the people that I want to follow. Those are the people. You know, and I don't follow anybody without a profile or with an egghead. You know, I mean, if they're not going to put in the effort, neither am I. It's just laziness.
Just put in a fucking picture. Like,
yeah,
seriously.
They're just the ultimate stalker. So,
yeah.
You know, I have a very aggressive personality. I don't want people to be on the fence. I don't want people to be not sure if they want to follow me, not sure if they like me or love me or hate me. Either love me or hate me, or unfollow me and block me. That way I don't make the mistake of following you back in the future.
Yeah. What did you say the other day? You practically want people wanting to be they want to be having sex with you through Twitter. You want them to love you that much.
Digital sex, huh?
Digital sex, yeah.
Twitter sex
well, that's
is going to be a very short situation, isn't it?
Exactly.
40 characters of sex, and then it's all over.
Right.
140 characters. No one's getting anything out of that.
Oh, I did the wrong one. Sorry. It's supposed to be a joke one. Okay. I love this Google Hangouts thing, man. This is such much fun to play with. All right, I was meaning to use that other drum roll to ask the next question. We have another question. I'm going to get one more Twitter question in before we move on to another topic. Noel Morata wants to know how long it took you to build up that many followers, because you've got so many. How long did it take? How long have you been on there?
I know Noel. I mean, I digitally know Noel. I think we're friends on Facebook as well. Yeah, I think we're friends on Facebook as well. I have been aggressively building my personal brand for the past, I would venture to guess, maybe 3.5 years. And out of that, for the past 3 years, 100% of the business that I've done, literally 100%, has come from Twitter.
Wow.
Yeah, so what do you say to the naysayers who are like, you know, you get like very short engagement with Twitter, and you know, each tweet is just fleeting, and you don't actually get any sort of no one actually really clicks through from Twitter. Like, what do you say to those people who are like, Twitter's a waste of time because you really don't get proper engagement from it?
Well, you're saying two different things. Number one, yeah, you don't get a lot of clicks from Twitter. That's true. But having said that, I don't drive traffic to my website from anywhere else. And I've never, everything that I do is organic. And I get between 400 to 900 clicks every day on my website. And I haven't done a blog post since I've been in San Francisco, and my clicks haven't gone down. So you do get some clicks. You don't get a great deal of clicks. That's true. Twitter is a place to build a community. Twitter is the place to build an insane following. Twitter is a place where you can have evangelists for your brand from all over the world very quickly. But
so it's more looking at the big picture of it.
100%. 100%. Or the small picture, whatever. The thing is, everybody is different. Everybody's looking for something different. Everybody has a different business model. So you can get as big or as small as you want. I know people, the majority of the people that I talk with, when I say follow a lot of people, and they say, well, I don't follow back, I don't do this, I don't do that, because I don't want my timeline cluttered. So that just means you don't want to take the extra time to create lists, to only follow your list, to really take Twitter serious. They just view Twitter as a pastime or a joke. I take it serious. I mean, for me, it's the most important platform that I use. Facebook's great, but Twitter's a goldmine.
Absolutely. Yeah, we recently, at least a good 6 months ago, we completed Facebook. And now Facebook's algorithms have changed once again, and everybody's up in arms and are rather pissed off once again. Yet you just don't have these outcries with Twitter.
Yeah,
Who knows?
It's to build relationships, there's nothing better. There's absolutely nothing better. I swear by it.
Yeah, so that's one of your main things. Like, you love traveling around the world. You love making relationships with people, meeting locals, meeting new people, as many people as you can get in touch with. That's where this all kind of skyrocketed from, isn't it?
Yeah, well, my father taught me when I was very little that it doesn't matter about how much you have in the bank. It's all about the relationships that you have. So for me, my ultimate goal, and again, I have insane ADHD and OCHD, so this definitely plays into it. But I want to meet as many new people as I possibly can on the planet, in every country that I go to. So if you surround yourself with good people in a lot of different countries, nothing but good things are going to happen. I mean, that's my thinking, and it's been true so far.
Yeah,
get rid of the toxic people.
There's a Mark Twain quote that's similar like that, travel puts an end to bigotry and closed-mindedness, and I should actually look up the actual quote. I might have to Google that right now, but it's like...
We're very professional in this show. This is our standard way of just, whatever happens. We'll look up quotes as we go.
No, but it's a really good quote, and I think it is really quite relevant. And it's a very popular quote that people actually talk about all the time. And if only I had this photographic memory, that would be fabulous.
Why don't you
then
have one of those?
I could just. I know, honestly. Travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness, and many of our people need it so sorely. Wait. Let me start again. Travel is fatal to Can you see me right up really close now trying to read this?
Yeah. You're just all face.
It's just all face. Well, let's just say travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness. There it is. So, once you start traveling, all of those things go out the window.
For sure.
Yeah. You realize just how small this world is and how similar we all are. Even if we have some religious differences and political differences, everyone's very similar, really.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
That's why I'd love people to travel more. I really would. I hope that we can inspire on this show and on other people's shows who also talk a lot about travel. We can inspire people to travel a lot more because it will change their perspective on the world. And I think it's really important.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, let's move away from Twitter and stuff like that, because another one of your real passions is startups and helping startups get going. So, what are like some of the really awesome startups that you've been involved with, and why is this such a passion for you to help people, get up there and get noticed with their products?
I think that everybody has a little entrepreneur inside of them. I definitely think in the travel industry, you guys are, well, you have to be entrepreneurs because you have to figure out ways to fund your travels, to, make money online or with other things and travel the world at the same time. So you guys are the ultimate entrepreneurs on the face of this earth, for sure.
Woohoo!
So, again, tie with everything that happens in my life, about 4 weeks ago, I get a tweet when I'm sitting in my condo in Bangkok, and it's from a travel startup here in San Francisco, and they asked me to be their, do I want to be an insider or do I want to be a beta tester or something like that, and we took the conversation offline, which frequently happens, and that's when you develop the real relationship, and we end up talking on Skype for a few hours, and, to cut a long story short, 6 days later, I hop on a flight and I came out to San Francisco as their new global brand ambassador, and I'm going to be here for the majority of the year.
Very
So
cool.
it's super cool, and it's a new travel app that's coming out. It's called Zipkick, and it's coming out probably in about a month or so. So it's cool, the startup community and the entrepreneur community. They're very much positive thinkers, forward thinkers. They're definitely risk takers, and I'm a magnet for that because it's my personality. I like building something from nothing, and they do as well. And they're just great individuals to be around. And obviously, being in San Francisco for this year, I've met a lot more of them, and it's my circle. No matter where I go, is very, very tight, and that's the most important thing. I keep my circle tight.
So if there is someone out there who's wanting to get the interest of Mr. Scott Eddy, what sort of things perk your interest? What is it that makes you go, ooh, I like the sound of that?
I don't know. It's definitely not the money. I have to like the individual. We have to be on the same wavelength with the opportunity that you're talking about. Like, if I don't feel passionate about your passion, it's probably not going to work. So, now we got the angel and devil. Nice.
Yeah, I'm going to be asking the bad questions from now on. I'm going to be asking the horrible questions.
Cool. So, yeah, I mean, that's the most important thing. We have to click as individuals. We have to get along. Me and this guy out here, one of the co-founders, his name is Jason Will. And when we got on Skype, it felt like I was talking to somebody that I've known for 20 years. We're on the exact same wavelength. We have the exact same passion. We eat, breathe, and sleep whatever project we're working on, and that's the way I live my whole life.
Yeah.
Cool.
Will you literally take on anyone if they've got a good idea and they're passionate, or do they have to already have some sort of experience before you're willing to mentor them or get involved in their project?
No, I don't. I mean, I don't give a shit about experience. I never went to college or university. I could give a fuck about all that stuff.
Do you think it's typical for like entrepreneurs like yourself to want to help people who are just starting out and to be the one who broke their success, to be known for like, I helped this product get successful? Or are you sort of a little bit unusual in that way?
No, I know a lot of people like that. I don't know if it's necessarily for I helped that person do that, so I want to be known. I don't think it's much more for the ego shot. I just think it's sort of like the pay it forward community, whereas typically that person didn't get to where they are without some help, so they want to pass it on.
Yeah, I think that's a great thing, and it's something that becomes more and more apparent especially in the entrepreneurial community. It's like, if you've got something good, there's going to be someone who's above you that believes in that, if it really is good, and you've just got to believe in it and have the passion in it and make them have the passion in it as well. And one thing we keep coming across time and time again is people just being too afraid to approach these bigger people, whether it be on Twitter or approaching them at a conference and actually just having a chat one-on-one. People think if you don't have the numbers, then people are not going to talk to you. Be like, oh, you're not as good as me. You're not as big as me. I don't want to talk to you. What do you say to people who think that?
Okay. Number one, for the most part, you're probably right with the bigger people. With me, I would much rather talk with somebody with 500 or 1,000 followers rather than somebody with 500,000 any day of the week. Because those people typically, they don't want anything from you, or they just want to talk, they just want to engage, they just want to learn, they just want to grow, and they generally have a lot warmer spirit about them. You know, what I don't like, and, you know, it's just, again, I was raised with manners. I was raised to say please and thank you. I was raised like I had to hold the door for my mother and sister before I walked through the door. So, you know, I was raised like normal people, you know. I wasn't raised up in the forest. When somebody follows you and then their next tweet to you, oh, can you retweet this? Or they send a DM, I don't even check my DMs, you know, can you retweet this or like this or do that? Like, why? You wouldn't do it in real life, so why would you do it in the digital world? If it doesn't make sense in real life, it will not make sense in the digital world. So I just take the same mindset of human life, of the way I was raised, and I apply it on social media.
Yeah, computers have impersonalized people a little bit, and they feel like they don't need to have manners anymore. People don't say please and thank you in an email.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah, well, Twitter doesn't give you the chance to say please and thank you. 140 characters, I mean.
PLS.
Saying please and thank you and everyone.
So take the extra 5 seconds. So take the extra 5 seconds and send a second tweet. Why not?
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing. Everybody says they don't have the time. Okay, well, can you wake up 15 minutes earlier and play around on Twitter and follow 50 people every morning? Oh,
damn,
well, probably, but they won't. Everybody can, but they won't.
Yeah.
You know,
it's too early for me.
Well, look, I'm an extremist. I'm a super morning person. I wake up at 5 every day, and I basically do everything. I cleanse all the non-followers, all the bots and bullshit out. I reply to everybody who tweeted to me overnight. I follow back everybody. I respond to all my emails, follow new people. If I have anything that I want to schedule that day, I schedule it out. I basically do that. I'm pretty much done by 7:30, before 8 o'clock for sure. So then my day is quite easy. Then I can just do my meetings and just monitor things throughout the day. And, you know, I just walk around the city and tweet like a retard and upload 100 photos a day and, you know, just engage. And I love it. It's the greatest thing in the world.
How do you have time to do all of this? We can barely keep up with all of our work, and you seem to be able to be on top of this all. It's amazing.
Well,
what's the secret?
Listen, the number one goal for me is to build my personal brand as big as I possibly can, because what I've seen in the last couple of years is that nothing but good things are happening. The opportunities, the offers, just everything comes to you tenfold once you get to be a certain size or recognition or whatever it is. I mean, you know, there's a lot of people out there, and I see the articles every day, you know, numbers don't matter. This doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. Listen, the truth is the world that we live in, numbers do matter, and they always will matter, and it is what it is. Now, it's nothing against the people with 500 followers or something. I don't do anything magic. I'm aggressive with my following. I like to follow a lot of people during the day, and maybe I'll get 20% to follow me back. Maybe I'll have a good day and 80% will follow me back. That's great. But guess what? You can follow all the people you want to follow. If you don't have good content, if you don't talk with them, if you don't give back and give them something to look forward to coming to your page every single day, they're not going to be there. So if you're not going to put in the part B work, definitely don't sit down and waste your time and do the part A. Because you're not a celebrity, you're not a household name, you're not just going to get 1 million followers while you're following 10. You know, that mindset, which is absolutely retarded, but that mindset doesn't happen.
All right. So stunned. I'm gonna break the tension. I don't know if you've noticed I'm drinking this. This is not
I
a
see
juice
that.
box. People
It's
might
wine
think it's a
box.
juice box. This is
It's a
wine.
wine box.
Wine with a straw. Yeah.
We
I,
discovered
I, I
these.
yeah. I lived in Portugal for a while, so
Oh,
I
you
was
know
there
about
for
this.
yeah. I was in
We've never
Lisbon for
seen that
4
in any
months
other
last
country
year.
before.
This is
Yeah,
like
it's super
every
cool.
mummy blogger's best friend. Send the kids off with a juice box, and mummy gets a special juice box.
Yeah, Mummy's just having the juice box with the kids. Sure, she is. Yeah. Mummy's wearing the same headgear as I am, I think.
So what would you say would be your top tips for, I know you said engagement, you said, being polite. Are there any other top tips that you would have for people to get out there? Do you think it's too late for people on Twitter? Like, has the Twitter revolution happened? Are they too late now trying to get in and get followers now? Are people too jaded?
No, I mean, there's no revolution. Again, it depends on your ultimate goal. I mean, you can get out there and start engaging in 5 minutes. So why not do it? But put a little effort into your page. Have a bio. I mean, don't say that you can't put together a bio. Are you a housewife? Do you have 3 kids? Where are you located? Like, just be human. Don't try to be a superstar. Don't try to be something you're not. Just write what it is.
And people read that too.
100%. I read anybody who talks to me. Odds are I'm going to look at your bio for sure, because I want to know where you are. And I love those people that put Earth, global. I'm everywhere.
Yeah. Actually, I think we're down as planet Earth.
Yeah, I mean, we can't put a location. We don't have a home.
But do you know what the cool thing is? It doesn't matter if I'm in a place for a month. I change my location.
Oh, yeah.
It's super cool because you're going to meet a lot more locals if you do that. Even if I'm in a place for a couple of weeks, you're going to meet locals because people read bios. And, put up a cover photo, put up a profile pic. Not a cartoon, not a logo, your actual picture. Look, you don't have to be a supermodel. Look, I learned a very long time ago I'm never going to be on the cover of GQ magazine. Maybe on the cover of National Geographic, but not GQ. So, it is what it is. It's me, and I'm putting my picture up there. And, I take the time with my cover photo and my bio, and I'm always trying to tweak things, always. Whether on my website, whether on my Twitter page, I'm always second-guessing just to make sure, what could I be doing better? Go to people that I really admire on Twitter, and look what they're doing. Look what they're talking about. Look. I'm always looking to learn something new on Twitter.
Cool. All right. Just gotta. There we go. I had to get another sound effect in somewhere. I've just been aching to use these sound effects that we've got.
Wow.
First time.
And you felt that this was the appropriate show to do that?
Yeah. Well, first time. It's a pioneering show, so we things out.
You should have never suggested Google Hangouts because we discovered all this stuff and went, oh, now we know how to have some fun.
Actually, I suggested Skype. Tom sent me an
Yeah,
email and said, hey, let's do it on Google.
It just seems easier, and it posts it to YouTube instantly, which means I don't have to worry about doing that process.
Yeah, I hear that a lot from podcasts, but I'm just not a Google Plus guy. I mean, I have an account, but I just think it's a worthless platform. Sorry, Google.
Yeah, well, I agree it's not really got any recognition, but I do actually find it works better than a lot of other platforms. It's just no one's using it, so there's no point being on it.
And that's the number one issue. It might be the greatest platform in the world, but if your audience isn't there, what are you going to do?
Doesn't help anybody. But are you just a Twitter guy, or do you have any other social media platforms that?
No, I'm very active on Instagram as well, and my Instagram, if you look at just percentage gains, my Instagram is probably growing faster than my Twitter account for the past few months. I mean, I'm gaining, I would guess 100, 150 followers on Instagram a day. I mean, I'm just exploding on Instagram lately. So I post a few times a day. I like the video feature, so I do quotes or pictures or video, whatever pops in my head.
Do you
Yeah.
have a particular app that you use to track people that haven't followed you or who have unfollowed you? Is there a particular one that you prefer to use?
Yeah, I love Manage Flitter.
Oh yeah.
And actually that is the only automated part of my whole process. Everything else I do by hand. I don't search for, like, because all these programs, even Manage Flitter is very, very good, and I know people that use it. They look for if they're starting a gym school or fitness or whatever. You can search for everybody that has fitness in their bio, things like that, or localized followers and things like that. I like to do it by hand because then I jump on, where the conversations are happening, and then I follow this person, and then I say, oh wow, they have a good profile. They probably have good followers. So I go on their followers, and then I find another one, and then it just happens. It's just cool like that.
The thing I like about Manage Flitter as well is that it will also tell you if it's a fake spammy account.
Yes.
Which is
yes.
great.
Yes.
And actually, that's a good thing Instagram just did, and it went through and deleted all of the spammy accounts.
The Instagram purge.
Oh, did it piss people off?
Wow. Okay. How many? What did they say? 2 celebrities deleted their accounts. I forgot who it was. It's the funniest thing in the world. These people are unreal. They just think nobody is going to know. It's impossible to build that kind of following overnight. I mean, yes, it is possible if you're a superstar, but why? Even if you are a superstar, it even makes you look more foolish because you already have the crowd. You're already standing on top of the mountain, screaming out in front of 1 million people. So why would you need to do that? I don't understand why people buy followers, buy all this nonsense. It doesn't make sense to me at all.
Yeah,
and it doesn't help your brand.
Engagement.
Doesn't help you at all. If a brand's going to do business with you, if somebody is going to do business with you, they're going to notice if you have 50,000 followers and you're not getting any retweets. Guess what, guy? That's impossible. Yeah. It is impossible that you have 50,000 of the wrong demographic. It won't happen. So, whatever. It is what it is. And listen, the more these people take the wrong path, more opportunity because it gives people that are doing the right thing. So more power to them. Knock themselves out.
Yeah, then we'll come by and we'll just take over.
Yeah, I mean, I lost 150 followers when they did the Instagram purge. Great. Get rid of my spam. No problem.
Yeah, I think we feel the same way about everything, actually, like not just about spammy accounts, but even people who are on our email list. Like, seriously, if you don't like the emails we're sending out, please unsubscribe, like, as soon as possible. Because I'm paying AWeber more money to have people on my account that don't read my emails and don't engage. I pay for 1,000 followers or whatever. So if you don't like us, please get off our email list as soon as possible because we're just missing money. Hey?
Exactly.
I missed that bit. Yeah.
I just said save us money.
Yeah, exactly. You're wasting my money, people, if you don't like what we're doing. We do appreciate the people who are on there and want to engage with us, obviously. Because
you're taking the money for the box wine.
69 cents. 69 cents.
Every time someone unsubscribes that doesn't give a shit about our show, we can buy another 69-cent box.
There you go.
Thank you for helping our alcoholism.
Yeah. If you've got people who don't like you on your list, they're the sort of people who are going to complain when you post something that they find offensive.
Yes.
Reviews on Amazon and on our podcast. We just don't want people to listen to our podcast if they don't like us because they're going to go on and leave us shitty reviews.
Correct.
And they're not our target demographic, so get the hell off. Don't listen to our podcast because we're going to offend you. We're going to swear. We're going to say things you don't like. If you don't like Team America, the movie, and you don't like Borat, the movie, you're probably not going to like us. That's we've decided that's our staging place for this. Yeah. If you don't like those movies, you're never going to enjoy this podcast. I mean, I'm not going to get in a mankini. I'm not going to get in a mankini and run around in the pool right now. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to go that far. But in terms of talking about stuff, it could get a bit raw. You never know. We could be talking about any weird shit.
So can we talk about what's happening with you this year? I mean, you already mentioned that you're now in San Francisco and you're working on this amazing new startup project. is it able for us to reveal that you might be joining us in Thailand for a little gathering of people?
Yeah, well, it's I'm doing a press trip back to Thailand the end of March with T-Bex, and I'm not sure about. I'm most likely going to be going to T-Bex, but there's a possibility that I might be speaking there as well in October in Bangkok.
Very nice.
Cool. So something for people to
I don't know. Let's keep our fingers crossed.
There's no way of giving us a first little hint as to what you might be talking about? Just a insider's view?
Let's see. Twitter engagement, living overseas. that's basically all I got in my bag of tricks.
Fair enough. I'm sure people will be very happy to hear a lot more Twitter secrets that we haven't managed to get through today, that's for sure. We'll be in your talk if we make it there. If we make it to Thailand.
You got to do it. You got to do it.
Yeah, we want to. It's just, you know how dates line up. Who knows what's going to be happening 5 months from now? We never plan anything that far ahead. It's very difficult for us.
How long are you guys going to be in Portugal?
Till March 10th.
Yeah.
And then we're off to Morocco.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because it's a new place for us. So we haven't been to Morocco.
Marrakesh is very cool. I lived in Marbella for a year, and we did a couple day trips over to Marrakesh. Again, on a day trip, you're only there for a couple hours, but I mean, what an incredible, amazing country. I would love to go there and spend a few months.
Do they beat wine in a carton, though? It's going to take a lot to beat wine in a carton, so I've heard Marrakesh, they're not really big drinkers. So we might be very disappointed.
You're not going to be disappointed, I promise you.
Oh, good. Yeah. No, it's going to be an exciting culture, so yeah, we're really excited about that.
Cool.
Very cool. All right, we are getting a little bit close to the end of the interview, so we have to ask the most important question. One of the things, we're not very consistent in our interviews, but this is something we normally ask everybody. If you could go back sort of 5 to 10 years and give yourself one piece of advice, what thing would you have done differently that you haven't done already?
To be honest, I don't think anything.
No regrets?
I really, really don't. I mean, if I'm ever considering time travel, take me back to when I was 18 before my dad died. You know, like that's the only thing, you know, you always have regrets, things you didn't say, things you didn't do, you know, things like that. But other than that, I don't have any regrets.
That's awesome.
That's the way to live life. You don't have regrets. I agree.
Yeah. You know, it is what it is. It already happened. So move forward.
Yeah. Live it. Just get on with it. And drink box wine. Or better wine. If you can afford it, drink better wine.
Exactly.
We just can't afford it. Otherwise, I'd be drinking straight out the bottle, like some 10-euro bottle of wine. I mean, straight down.
Otherwise, this would be the $1,000 podcast.
Yeah. Hey, one day maybe it will be. Maybe that's our next step. Next year it'll be the $50 podcast, and then it'll be the $1,000 podcast, and it's going to be awesome. People can follow our adventure as our podcast.
We'll get like a little donate button, and people can donate to our wine habit.
Buy us a wine. 69 cents. That's all you need to give us. 69 cents.
Exactly.
To get a wine. Perfect.
Cool.
All right. Let's round it up. Thank you, Mr. Scott Eddy, for joining us here on the $5 Planet podcast. All the way from San Francisco, even though we can't see the bridge behind you because it's really cloudy.
It's very
cloudy.
It's super cloudy, but that is where the Golden Gate Bridge is. It's just,
that's San Fran for you.
It's not visible at all this morning.
Oh, dear.
Such a shame.
We'll draw it in later.
Yeah, exactly.
If only Google Hangouts had an image for Golden Gate Bridge. I could have pretended I was at the Golden Gate Bridge. We could have all been there.
Exactly.
Brilliant. What a shame.
Well, thank you so much for being on our show today. I think people would have learned tons about, you know, Twitter engagement and what they can do. And, you know, as always, you've been a, you know, great inspiration, which I think is the thing people really appreciate about.
Couldn't resist.
That was appropriate. That
was our celebration, guys.
Celebration.
I love the
I think I'm taking that function away from you.
You can't.
You are banned from using that.
You can't take it away from me. It's not fair. I'm the devil. I'm supposed to interrupt. Causing trouble. All right. Thanks again, Scott.
All right, guys.
Click the off-air button. Thanks to anyone who's been
Thanks for
listening
having me.
in. And you'll also be able to get this recording not just on YouTube when it gets published in a few minutes, but also on our iTunes in a few weeks' time when it's all been cleaned up. We take out all of the bits where we fucked stuff up. I'm sure it'll be lots of things.
Lots of it.
All right. Thanks, Scott.
Take care.